So last night, a pretty big trade actually happened in the NHL. I'm pretty sure no one saw this coming either because these are guys that haven't really been the center of trade talks. Nick Schmaltz, it seemed like he was going to be a huge part of the Blackhawks moving forward. Obviously, Dylan Strome still trying to develop and really realize his potential after being such a high draft pick behind guys like Connor McDavid and like Jack Eichel. But nonetheless, you have Dylan Strome and Brendan Perlini going to the Chicago Blackhawks in exchange for Nick Schmaltz. And I actually really like this trade for the Arizona Coyotes. And people forget, Nick Schmaltz is only 1 year older than Dylan Strome. And yes, if Dylan Strome does pan out, then obviously the Blackhawks will most likely win this trade. But that's a big risk because he really hasn't shown anything so far that he's going to live up to the hype of that number 3 overall draft pick. Obviously in junior he had a 130-point season, 111-point season. It was seen as he was going to be a superstar at the NHL level. But this year, another slow start for Dylan Strome. And this was the year where he was supposed to come in and really be an impact player for this team. But just 6 points in 20 games. He's a -10 for an Arizona Coyotes team. And it just wasn't looking good. And I like this for both sides kind of because sometimes a change of scenery is all it takes for a young player to really come into his own. Obviously, we saw that this year with Max Domi, who's been a stud for the Montreal Canadiens after not really doing so well in Arizona. Same situation for Dylan Strome. And now Strome gets the opportunity to play with guys like Patrick Kane, to play with guys like Alex DeBrincat, who he was so good with in junior. And then the Blackhawks obviously are getting Brendan Perlini as well, who's also only 22 years old, a former first-round pick. Had 30 points last year, had 6 points this year. A pretty decent player. So honestly, if I had to pick a winner right now, obviously it is too early to tell, but I'm just going to go with Arizona just because Nick Schmaltz is the more solidified player of the three so far. Obviously only 1 year older than Perlini and Strome. But nonetheless, I think Nick Schmaltz is going to bring a lot to Arizona. He was off to a bit of a slow start this season after his really good 50-point year last year. The Blackhawks kind of wanted him to take that next step and become even better, but I guess with only 11 points, just 2 goals so far in 23 games, they were getting a little bit fed up, and obviously the team has been on the decline after their pretty decent start. Both of these teams, they like to trade with each other. They wanted the change, and for that reason, I have to think this is going to work out well for both sides. I hope it does. I hope Dylan Strome is not a bust. I never like to see players like that. I think Brendan Perlini is a very solid player. And then obviously, like I said, Nick Schmaltz I think is the best player in this trade so far. I think he's very underrated. He didn't get talked about a lot last season just because Alex DeBrincat got more of the media coverage over there in Chicago. But Nick Schmaltz was a huge part of their team, and he really is going to bring a lot to this Arizona team. If you're an Arizona Coyote fan and you don't really know a lot about Nick Schmaltz, you're going to like what he brings on the offensive end of the ice. He's definitely going to get this team a lot more goals, and now just the opportunities for him to play with guys like Clayton Keller on the power play, obviously Alex Galchenyuk. This team is shaping up very nice over there in Arizona, and like I said, I'm going to say it again, I like this trade for both sides just because a change of scenery really could help these guys, but I'm very curious to hear what you guys think. I think I might be in the minority when I say Arizona won this trade because on Twitter I saw a lot of people saying that Arizona kind of got robbed here trading Dylan Strome and Brendan Perlini, but I'm kind of in the minority. I don't really think that. I honestly think that right now Arizona is the clear-cut winner, but obviously it's too early to tell, and down the line we will know who actually won this trade when people are in their prime and when people pan out. Hopefully in Dylan Strome's case, I think Brendan Perlini was never really supposed to be a superstar, but he's just been a pretty solid player. So yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Are you on my side? Do you think Arizona won this trade, or do you think the Chicago Blackhawks won this trade? So that is going to wrap up the video. I really hope you guys did enjoy. Like I said earlier, make sure to let me know down in the comment section who you think is the winner of this trade. I'm going to have a video on William Nylander dropping tomorrow. I know you guys have probably seen a lot of them and you're getting annoyed, but I haven't made a video on Nylander yet on the channel over his contract situation, so I thought it's winding down. I'm going to do that, give you guys what I think is going to happen, so look out for that tomorrow. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe to the channel for daily NHL content, and I will see you guys all in the next video.